This learning segment here on the YouTube channel titled The Heart Project Healing Through Connection. This learning segment is titled Psychopathic Lying Symptoms. If I give you an example of what I've been through with them, during the movie, The Heart Project Healing Through Connection, the 2.5 hour movie, the last third of it is, a majority of the last third of it is talks about this blatant sisterhood that was a page in my life. Gorgeous, over-the-top women, knockouts that stood out, that came to me for help. They were desperate for help. They didn't know they were desperate for help, but that's what the Lord gave them to me to help fix. A lot of these cases that was given to me, I couldn't fix. This was one of them. The reason why it was called, by the way, a sisterhood, there was no touching, no loving, no physical contact whatsoever. It was a relationship that lasted for decades. A lot of them that as long as you don't touch it, you'll have that friend for a long, long time. It's called trust. So when men were breaking down their front door, they always let me in their back door because they trusted me. So one of them took me to court. We had a feud, and she thought she would get back at me by filing an injunction of harassment, which means if I would have lost the case, I couldn't come around her or her property for 1 full year. The date that she was supposed to take me to court, I showed up, but she didn't show up. Want to know why? I asked her why she didn't show up a little while down the road from that. She said she lied on the form. So this learning segment is about pathological lying symptoms. Not all lies are alike. Some people lie, but their lies are not caused by a serious mental illness. Psychopathic lie habitually, and their vice is part of their personality disorder that makes them cold-hearted and have no conscience. Should I read it again? Not all lies are alike. Some people lie, but their lies are not caused by a serious mental illness. Psychopathic lie habitually, and their vice is part of a personality disorder, not mental disorder, that makes them cold-hearted and have no conscience. It's demonic. It's not the real person. Anything that deals with personality, if it's in a negative sense, is demonic. Go on this YouTube channel, The Heart Project Healing Through Connection, and check out the monthly series that I did in the studio titled Personality Types. You parents will know what's wrong with your kids. Some of your parents with some of your kids. How can you tell if a liar, is psychopathic? One of them is the frequency. Many people tell a white lie once in a while to spare someone's feelings. Psychopathic lying about anything and everything. They cannot tell the truth. They don't have the truth in them. It's demonic. Who is the father of lies? Jesus said. Who's the father of lies? Satan. Deception is an integral part of their disorder. They thrive on deception. So I'm going to read this again. How can you tell if a liar, is psychopathic? The frequency. Many people tell a white lie once in a while to spare someone's feelings. Psychopathic liars lie about anything and everything. Deception is an integral part of their disorder. The next one, how can you tell if a liar that you may know is psychopathic? Motivation. Powerful dictators in world history, powerful dictators in world history, such as Stalin of Russia and Hitler of Nazi Germany, were psychopaths. They had demons, major demons, territorial demons. Let me give you an example of a territorial demon. When I was leaving the state of Utah, when I was leaving the city of Salt Lake, when the train started inching down the tracks in Salt Lake, I felt heaviness lift off me. Then I knew that whole time in Salt Lake, for the 2 months I was there, I had a monitoring spirit on me. Demonic. Didn't even know it. Then, when I crossed out of the state of Utah into a city I knew that wasn't in Utah, they announced a train stop. They're approaching. Another weight came off of me. That was a territorial demon. Didn't even know it. I have a beloved sister in the sisterhood that I told you about. The one that took me to court, this is another one. She was in my house one time, and I was getting dressed in my bedroom because we were going to go out and get something to eat or something. And I don't know how the conversation got brought up, but I was opening up my closet door, and all of a sudden she goes, you know, they could be right behind you and you wouldn't even know it. If you're in your sin of any kind, smoking marijuana, watching pornography, sex out of wedlock, adultery, lying, stealing, cheating, of any kind of sin, you got company that you can't see. They're waiting for you to take your final breath before you repent so they can take you straight to hell. I kid you not. As long as you're going with their flow, you're going with their grain, it's Friday, you're going out tonight, Friday night, I got news for you. They're waiting for you when you get to the bar or the club. And if you meet somebody in that bar or club and you leave with that person, that company is going with you. And you can't see them. They're filling up your back seat. They're going to follow you home. And then they're going to surround your bed. And if you have to have a heart attack or something to end your life on that bed, for an example, you're done. They got you. And they're taking you straight to hell. It was proven to me. Beloved sister that wanted to take me to court that I talked about at the beginning of this learning segment drank Fireball whiskey like Kool-Aid. She had an abortion. Her boyfriend gave her a boob job for him. What'd she do? She gave those boob jobs to others. I told her, you are insane. She said she woke up on the floor on the side of her bed. I said, why are you waking up at the floor on the side of your bed? So one night, I stayed with her. With our clothes on, we laid together on the bed, and I monitored her sleep. At 3 a.m, she's thrashing around all of a sudden on her bed, arms, legs flying all over. She was sleeping through this process. She wasn't awake. And when she calmed down, then she woke up, and she goes, I need a drink of water. So I got out of bed and I'm moseying out of the bedroom, going down the hallway to her kitchen. Her kitchen and living room were one room. It had a counter that divided the kitchen and the living room. But the roof, the ceiling, it was one piece. And when I turned out of the hallway to go in the kitchen to get her bottle of water out of the fridge, it hit me like a brick wall. Her living room was like a elevator door. When you're waiting for it to open, and the door's open to let you in the elevator, but you have no room, the elevator's jam-packed. That was her living room. You couldn't see them, but I felt it. I felt the pressure. It was so full. I remember I was looking at the ceiling, trying to see the top of it. There were so many in her house. They were trying to throw her off that bed, literally try to maybe break her neck and kill her so they could take her to hell in her sleep. So if you're sinning right now of any kind, smoking marijuana, watching pornography, you're going to go out tonight on this Friday night, find the love of your life for one night? Are you? It's dead serious. In the spirit world, it's dead serious. They know what's at stake, and so do I. I've been through the experience and bear witness. He uses me as a witness to report to you. I'm telling you the truth. I never believed in this garbage. I thought it was hokey pokey. I thought church was just song and dance. It's far from it. You really want to go out on this Friday night tonight? Or would you rather stay home, read your Bible, put the TV off and your phone off, and wait and see if Jesus shows up when you repent on your knees on your kitchen floor and forgive before his throne and see if Jesus comes? The only man you women need in your life for the rest of your life is Jesus Christ. And you men, you need a partner, a confidant, a protector, a guide, a counselor, a wonderful counselor. The only one you need in your life is not a female cardinal. It's Jesus Christ. Stay home tonight. It's not worth it to go out. Again, I'm going to start over because we're already at 13 minutes, so I got to rush. How can you tell if the liar that you may know in your life is psychopathic? By motivation. Powerful dictators such as Stalin and Hitler were psychopaths. They lie in a means of manipulation to exercise dominance over others. You ever seen Hitler do one of his speeches? This is an example of motivation. When he first came up to the platform, got up to the microphone, he was calm, still. He'd stand there like this, and he'd start softly speaking. And as time went on in his speech, he'd get louder and louder and louder and louder and expressive and expressive and expressive and expressive, just to get the crowd going, boy. That's demonically motivated. Why did God use the Nazis to extinguish 6 million Jews? One of the reasons, probably before the war broke out, the Jews were ripping the name Jesus Christ out of their books. God is big on his son. Stay home tonight, this Friday night, tonight, and invite Jesus into your house. Because if you go out there to your clubs and your bars, your dance halls, nightclubs, strip joints. He's not going to forsake you. But I guarantee you, he's probably going to stand back. Stay home tonight. Let him in your life. Let Jesus in your life, and you'll never forget it or regret it. I was just like you. And look at now, speaking to you through him. This is not my wisdom. I didn't even graduate high school. I want no money for this channel. But the wisdom he gives me, I give to you to save your life. Psychopaths. They lie to cover up their misdeeds in illegal activities. They're nuts. It's not them. They're run by demons. They tell the ultimate lie and say, I love you. Creepy, isn't it? It's demonic. How can you tell if a liar that you may know is psychopathic? Is a convincing manner. Remember, this learning segment is not about being judgmental. It's using discernment. You're following patterns. Big difference. Judgmental and discernment are completely opposite. Judgmental points the finger. Discernment follows patterns. Discernment is protecting you. You're seeing the flags without saying a word. So again, how can you tell if a liar that you may know in your life is psychopathic? Through a convincing manner. Lying seems to be effortless as breathing with them, since they lack empathy. Empathy is caring. Apathy doesn't care. Empathy and apathy are opposites, just like judgment being judgmental and using discernment. They're opposites. Now do you see? They can lie. Psychopathic liars can lie while looking people right square in the eye and be very convincing. They are skilled actors of guiltless. This is pattern, following the patterns. The next, how you can tell if a liar that you may know in your life is psychopathic, is they play on sympathy. They play on sympathy, spirit of narcissism. They rely on people's sympathies. They play on the natural tendency of people to want to help those in need. They play on the natural tendency of people to want to help those in need. It is common for them to fake injuries or ailments using deception to exploit. I'll read again. Psychopathic lying symptoms plays on sympathy. They rely on people's sympathies. They play on the natural tendency of people to want to help those in need. This is common for them to fake injuries or ailments through deception to exploit. How can you tell if there's a liar in your life that you may know? Maybe psychopathic? They use momentary truths. Let me tell you, I've dealt with the demonic. Speaking out of people's mouths, demons will tell you the truth. That you want to hear. Bull roar. I was in my van one time, driving down the road before my head-on collision that he tried to kill me with. Thanks to him, that's why I'm still here. I was driving down the road in my van, and a thought of a voice was injected in my mind driving, and that voice said, Satan ain't going to be around that much longer. Why don't you leave him alone? I grabbed my steering wheel and I braced it, and I said, you know what? I'm going to make you sick to your stomach. That's what you call discernment. That goes beyond the following the pattern. I was being followed, period. Like coming out of Utah. Again, how can you tell if there's a liar maybe in your life that might be psychopathic? They use momentary truths. Their feelings are shallow because they don't care. The truth they tell are only momentary varieties, like a jukebox. For example, they declare their love for a girlfriend in the heat of passion. They're doing the deed saying, oh, I love you. But an hour later, another woman. Or another man. Their focus, psychopathic's focus, is always on the next temporary pleasure. Let me tell you about the demonic. Demons, they cannot ever. This is why you can't get off pornography. There's a learning segment on here, how to overcome pornography. Get on it. Get off it tonight. Why you are so in a whirlpool of pornography and you can't get out of it? Because the demons that are in you can't get enough of lust. In the spirit world, there's no boundaries, limitations, or borders. They can't get enough of lust. The spirit of lust is the most patient. Going out tonight, it's Friday. Going out Friday night tonight, the spirit of lust is waiting for you wherever you're going. It's going to kick into gear. Listen, Satan doesn't care what bait he uses tonight if you're going out. Just as long as you see that blonde at the bar, you see that handsome man over there playing pool, Satan doesn't care what bait he uses. Just as long as he gets that hook in you and he pulls you in like a fish. Stay home tonight and divert the hook. Avoid the hook. It's not worth it. If you're married, do you really belong in a bar, tavern, nightclub? Do you? How many people in Old Town Scottsdale, when I dwelt there looking for tears, I went up there looking for tears, people that broke up with somebody or at the end of the rope. That's why I went there. It was hell on earth. The female bartenders are even naked. It's horrid. How many people just there alone? would tell me, I'm married. Don't belong there. If you're married, why are you in a bar with your friends that aren't really your friends? Do Christians belong in a tavern tonight on this Friday? Or a bar? Or a nightclub? Are you going to a nightclub tonight wearing a cross around your neck as bait for innocence? And you don't even know the true meaning of the cross? I've dealt with prostitutes in the past that wear crosses around their necks. Pure bait. I'm not kidding you. I'm dead serious. The next one. How can you tell if there's a liar maybe in your life right now that may be psychopathic? Trophies. Creepy, isn't it? Psychopaths leave behind trophies. They leave them behind of their lives. The cruelty leads them to leave behind physical proof of their deceit. They get off on it to flaunt their lies. They flaunt their lies. Can you believe it? With one woman, here's an example, a scenario. With one woman while texting another woman. Or with one man while you're texting another man. They love living on the edge. Psychopaths love living on the edge. You've seen it. It's nothing but pure thrill for them. They want to be on the edge of getting caught. And when they get caught, you think they're really going to care about you? They can't help themselves. The real person is not there. They've been buried. The real person is buried by a demonic persona. Demons know exactly what they're doing and how to do it and when to do it. But you can overcome it in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. After my divorce, my libido went through the roof. I got back into the gym. I got as big as a gorilla again. And somewhere along the line, dating upon dating upon dating, I contracted HIV. On Christmas Eve, I found out there was a 14-year-old girl on the news and TV, and I have a great heart. I was strong, energetic, not even tired or weak. HIV is a silent killer. So there was a girl on the news, the 6 o'clock news on TV, getting blood transfusions for the rest of her life. And I asked my roommate, I said, how can I help her? I want to help her. And my roommate, she was a phlebotomist. She went into people's homes to take care of the patients in their homes. They lived in their own homes. She goes, why don't you donate plasma? I said, what the heck is plasma? I didn't even know what plasma was. Thank God my roommate was there to tell me this. Oh, there's a place in Gilbert, Arizona. They'll even pay you for your plasma. I was not working. I had no money. So I went down there, and the first time they went, they paid me $50. They give you a little card, a little debit card. They put cash on it. I went down there a second time. It was great. They paid me more money. Then Christmas Eve, I wanted to get my two daughters something for Christmas, even though I didn't have that much money. I wanted to get them a little something. And I went to the Coist, the register, to say I was there to donate plasma. And all across the screen in big letters it said, go see medical office. And I'm going, for what? I'm strong, healthy, energetic, not even weak or tired. I go, see medical office for what? Do I have a cold or the flu? Strep throat? I go in there and I sit down. The guy rings up my name on his computer and he goes, wait a minute, I'll be right back. I got to go to the lab and pull your number. He comes back with a piece of paper. This is Christmas Eve. Comes back with a piece of paper. It says I'm HIV contracted. So I went to one doctor in one lab, positive. I went to another doctor into another lab, positive. Then I went to a third doctor in another third lab, positive, positive, positive. There was not any false positives. So I started taking a pill at $112 a day through my Access insurance. Do you think I could pay that out of my pocket? It was like $3,200 to $3,600 a month per the market. Because of Jesus. I've had a cold. I've had a flu. My immune system is totally 100% intact this day, right now, in front of you. If you're living in any type of sexual sin, you're taking a risk. It's Friday. You going out tonight? You want to take that risk? Stay home. Because of Jesus, I don't have it. Thanks be to him. He's keeping me alive to keep this YouTube channel alive, to keep you alive, to save your life. Let's finish up here because we're already at 32 minutes. How can you tell if a liar that may be in your life that you may know is psychopathic? They're addicted to deception. Afflicted means no desire to stop lying. The biggest emotional high comes from deceiving a woman who trusts them. The more in trouble, the more lack of incentive to improve behavior. I'll read again because we've got to finish up. Psychopaths are addicted to deception. Afflicted means no desire to stop lying. The biggest emotional high comes from deceiving a woman who trusts them. They get a high in this. The more in trouble, the more lack of incentive to improve behavior. The last one, and at the end of this, I'm going to give you a huge surprise why I don't have the HIV, because of Jesus. It's going to put a tear in your eye. The last one here. How can you tell if there's maybe a liar in your life that you may know that may be psychopathic? They denial and minimization. They're masters of denial of their lies when discovered. If they're confronted with their deceit, they quickly accuse the victim, they accuse you, of imagining things or exaggerating, i.e. gaslighting. Narcissism, the spirit of narcissism, is huge on gaslighting. I had a beloved sister in the sisterhood. God gave me one of these to help fix, and I couldn't break it. She didn't want to be well. Over the top gorgeous. She called herself the Holy Grail. You want to know why? She had no baggage, no marriages. She got turned down 3 marriages. She has no children, and she's going out there tonight and this Friday night, I'll bet. A vicious cycle. The weekend vicious cycle. Are you part of it? Now we're going to end this. We're almost at 35 minutes. The reason why I contracted HIV and Jesus took that from me out of my body, thanks be to him. He'll do the same for you. If it weren't for that girl on the 6 o'clock news that God put on that TV so I could see that because I wanted to help her, and I went and donated that plasma. I had no idea I had this killer in me. It's a silent killer. If it weren't for that little girl on TV, I would be dead and wouldn't be here today. Thanks be to Jesus, to glorify him for this YouTube channel. Anyone you know that is struggling, suffering, having a hard time, hurting, all alone, shedding tears, anxious, aggravated, going through the paces at the end of the rope, tell them about this channel. I don't want money. I don't care about views of the subscribers. So I love the viewers and the subscribers. Don't get me wrong. That's not my concern. My concern is how many people this YouTube channel, The Heart Project, Healing Through Connection, Gary Luna YouTube, can help. Help them. Give them this channel, no matter who they are. I love all you guys. Thanks be to God. Glorify Jesus all the time and love him. And stay home tonight and invite him into your life. You won't regret it ever again.